After Saturday's defeat, manager Terry Dolan was sacked this afternoon. Jeremy Hibbard has the details.
Bradford bowed out of their second cup competition in a fortnight. This time it was Hull City's watertight finishing that sealed their fate. Bradford's defence left standing as Nicky Brown's pass falls beautifully for Billy Whitehurst. A further blow for Bradford in the 35th minute. Lee Palin gets the red card after this mid-pitch elbowing on Gareth Roberts. With Bradford's defence still in disarray, Keith Edwards confidently hammered the point home midway through the second half. Mark Leonard came back with Bradford's consolation response, a lucky strike through the crowded goalmouth 5 minutes from time. So out go Bradford City, and today at Valley Parade so did their manager Terry Dolan. He's been City manager for 2 years and last season nearly took them to the First Division. A brief statement from the club said that despite his hard work, those winning results had not been forthcoming. For the time being, Chief Scout Maurice Lindley is filling in as caretaker manager.
Yeah, it's come as a big surprise. I mean, it isn't sort of long ago that we seem to have been sort of fighting to win promotion to the First Division. We knock out sort of Everton and Tottenham in the group, and things look rosy completely. And then suddenly out of the blue, this arrives. So I am shocked, yeah.
But the rest of my life. You've just said goodbye to the players. What was that like for you?
The worst part, obviously, because we've been together for 2 years and we've had a lot of good times and we've been very close to each other, Stan, myself and the players.
Bradford's players are equally shocked by Dolan's sacking. Peter Jackson summed up their feelings.
We still couldn't believe it. I mean, it's happened so quick and sudden that, you know, it hasn't sunk in yet. So it's a bit subdued at the moment. But, you know, as I say, it's sad for everybody concerned with the club.
Last year we almost went in the First Division. Played in quarter-finals of national competitions. The youth policy is very, very good. Kids haven't lost this year. In 18 months, there'll be some good players coming through there for first-team level. The hardcore support now, I would say, is up, perhaps to 8,500. The club's set up.
This was your first job as a manager. Has it put you off at all?
Not at all. I want another job now tomorrow. We've learnt a lot together, and that will stand us in good stead for the future. And as I said before, we're proud of what we've done.
And still on football news just in, the Bradford City striker Ian Ormondroyd is to sign this evening for First Division Aston Villa in a straight cash deal worth £650,000.
Another former assistant manager, Terry Yorath, is tipped to return to Valley Parade to take over from Terry Dolan. Jeremy Hibbard reports.
24 hours after being sacked, Terry Dolan and Stan Ternant said farewell to Valley Parade and to the players. The former management team shocked by the speed and circumstances of their dismissal.
People say that the day you become a manager is the day nearer getting the sack. I've never held that belief, and I've always thought, well, I'll be the one who never gets the sack. So obviously when it happens, it hurts quite a lot.
In their first year at Valley Parade, Dolan and Ternant took City to the middle of the Second Division. Then last year to the First Division playoffs, only to suffer defeat at the hands of Middlesbrough, who went up instead. The Bradford fans took consolation in the way their side fought the battle. It was Dolan's best achievement at Valley Parade, but it set a precedent that this year has been hard to follow.
The expectations of the supporters and the board of directors and people who are associated with the club is the standard that Terry and I have set. So perhaps we've been a victim of our own success. But that's life, that's football.
This season there's again talk of playoffs, this time to keep out of Division 3. There have been some notable victories. City put Everton out of the Littlewoods Cup, then ended Spurs' FA Cup hopes. But Bradford's directors don't regard 1 or 2 high points as good enough. More recently, the winning results have been eluding the club.
People forget about your victories, you know, quite quickly. And you've just got to look to the next game and hope you can keep winning, because in today's game, that's what you need to do.
Former assistant manager of Bradford, Terry Yorath, is now widely tipped to return to Valley Parade. He won't comment, but recently he did reject an extension to his manager's contract with Swansea. Legal advisers are still working on compensation for Terry Dolan, dismissed just after signing a new 3-year contract with Bradford City. He and Stan Ternant hope to stay together as a management team. Both want to start work with a new club as soon as possible.
Well, meanwhile, another leading figure at Bradford City is about to leave the club. Striker Ian Ormondroyd is expected to join First Division Aston Villa in the next 24 hours. Villa have offered £650,000 for the 6'4" centre-forward.
A science whiz kid from Caister in Lincolnshire has won a place at Cambridge University at the age...
...have turned down City's advance. More talks are expected, and City have said they'll pay Swansea compensation and allow Yorath to continue as part-time manager of Wales.
Here's Nick Powell. Well, Leeds United say the 33,000 crowd paid £103,000 in gate money, a club record for a league match. It finished Leeds United 3, Bradford 3. We had everything. Interested spectators of all kinds, Terry Yorath leaving his sickbed to manage Bradford against his old club, and more action in the first quarter hour than we often get in a match. First Palin, and then 90 seconds later Kennedy should have put Bradford in front before Jackson did in the 5th minute. Leeds stormed back. Davison, Blake and Davison again, stretching Tomlinson to the full. Then the first of Leeds' 3 equalisers. We'd had 16 minutes by now and barely drawn breath. The scorer, Leeds stand-in captain Noel Blake. To call Bradford's next goal simple is an understatement. The goalkeeper's giant clearance straight to the teenage striker Peter Costello. The move took 6 seconds. But the lead didn't last long this time either. Blake's shot touched in by Hilaire. 2-2 at half-time, and Yorath will have had some choice words for his defence. In fact, it was one of his defenders who restored Bradford's lead, Lee Sinnott, early in the second half. And to their credit, Bradford kept going forward. Costello was denied his second only by the woodwork. Both goalkeepers were made to earn their money. From Hilaire's cross, Tomlinson kept out Baird's header. But Baird was to have the last laugh with 8 minutes left. The substitute Hazelwood won the header, and Baird gobbled up the rebound. 3-3 it was. The crowd went home happy, delirious some of them, like the players. But would the managers, big managers, speak mainly of their disappointment at conceding 3 goals? Refreshingly, they didn't.
I must confess, I thought it was a terrific game. Very difficult tonight to take a sort of impartial, dispassionate view. I thought it was a terrific game. I thought we were very generous in respect to the 3 goals. But it was a terrific game, and you know, I'm supposed to stand here, be very professional and be very disappointed. But I thought it was a good game. I thought it could have gone either way, and I think football needs games like that.
It was worth getting on my bed for. It was a good game. I'm pleased if people are pleased with the game. Sometimes it was at the wrong end of the field for me. In fact, most of the game it was at the wrong end of the field for me. I suppose, you know, a draw would be a fair result. I love coming back here. Sometimes it seems a bit unpleasant when people are shouting bad things at you because I'm Bradford City manager now. You have to accept that. And I do love the place.
Last night, everyone loved the place. The players and fans applauded each other. Everyone shook hands, and the police reported no trouble. The man called away on the public address system because his wife was locked in the toilet missed a treat.
Division at Valley Parade, where improving Bradford City took on Barnsley. Ian McBride was there.
Another big crowd was at Valley Parade for Bradford's 2nd Yorkshire derby of the week. A flu bugs hit Oakwell, but it was Bradford who looked sluggish, as David Curry showed why he's rated in the $500,000 class. Defeated here, though, by the dive of Bradford keeper Tomlinson. The young striker had another chance 4 minutes later, but was hacked down by Jackson, for which the home defender was booked. Bradford finally woke up when Fucher hesitated, but Abbott's shot was blocked by Clive Baker. The deadlock was broken a minute before half-time. Tomlinson stopped Agnew's effort, but the keeper then brought down Mark Robinson. David Curry stepped up to put Barnsley ahead. There was more joy for the Reds' travelling fans on 53 minutes. Dobbins' pass, Curry's flick, and John McDonnell made it 2. Bradford managed a late goal from Mark Leonard. Final score, Bradford 1, Barnsley 2.